keep you informed. PERCY Junior Hospital on the probe after 9-year-old dies. Sudan West is blaming the PERCY Junior Hospital in Spaldings, Manchester, for the death of her 9-year-old son, Jabari Palmer. West said that her boy died on Monday from what is believed to be dengue fever. Already, Wayne Chen, chairman of the Southern Regional Health Authority, said that he has ordered a full investigation into the circumstances leading to the death of the boy. We are treating it with the highest priority. We have already triggered an investigation into the circumstances related to his passing, Chen said. According to the mother, young Jabari received very little attention on the 2 trips he made to the hospital while writhing in pain and running a high fever. We bring him to the hospital Friday morning about 8 o'clock. I register him. They tell me to sponge him down and me give him a sponge bath and bring him back inside. When me bring him back inside, I was told to sit and wait until doctor called his name. I was sitting there till 6:30 p.m. and nothing. So I get up and went to the nurse and I said, "Nurse, I have been here from morning. I washed down my baby and him still have fever. It feel like I didn't wash him down," she said. West said that young Jabari finally saw the doctor about 7 o'clock in the evening. The doctor examined him and give him drip. The drip finished about 4:30 in the before day. Me go back to the doctor and him say if after the taking the drip and the Panadol and the salt for the diarrhea, if him vomit it up back, then they'll have to admit him, she said. Me said to the doctor that the child bring up back the Panadol and he didn't admit him or anything. He prescribed a bottle of Panadol for him. Doctor sent him home with the diarrhea and fever same way and the vomiting, she said. West said her son was still sick on Sunday and she took him to a private doctor the following morning. She said when she went to the private doctor, she was given a letter for emergency admission to take back to the hospital. The letter stated that young Jabari may have contracted dengue fever. Me bring the paper to the hospital and give the nurse, and she told me I should go to the emergency room and wait. I was in the emergency room waiting for hours. After 5, me get up and me said to the nurse, say, "You can tell me where my baby Jabari Palmer docket there. My baby I cry for him tummy and my blow hard. He must say me need to pull him belt. He must say me need to take off him shoes. He was feeling discomfort. He said to me, say, "Mommy, where doctor, my skin a burn me want go home," she said. By the time them call him name, it was too late. He come like my baby even dead in my arms. And when me take him up and carry him go put him in the bed, them start to attend to him. Before them assist him with the emergency letter when me get, she said. West said that Jabari was her only son and he was very kind and friendly. West said she intends to take legal action against the hospital. Obviously, if someone don't stand up, it will happen again. Someone has to take a stand, she said. Armed robbery of complex in Manchester. The police are confirming that 2 armed men reportedly robbed a complex in Kingsland, Manchester, of approximately $9 million following a daring daylight robbery on Monday. The Mandeville police report that about 10:50 a.m., men dressed in uniforms resembling that of security guards allegedly robbed a complex consisting of a Western Union, a gas station and deli of the cash before they escaped in a motor car. Sources indicate a security company is used to transport money to and from the location. Using the routes, the men were reportedly allowed access to the complex. Once inside, the men allegedly brandished firearms and robbed the occupants of the complex. Sources indicate a vehicle believed to be the getaway car was found soon after the robbery. It was destroyed by fire. Meanwhile, the police are appealing to anyone with information that can assist their investigations to contact the Mandeville Police at 876-961-5538, Crime Stop at 311, Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. Second man dies after St. Mary car crash. A second man has succumbed to injuries received in a motor vehicle crash on the Boscobel Main Road in St. Mary on Monday, October 7. The police have reported 3 other people, including a child, were injured in the crash. The second deceased victim is 42-year-old Marlon Roberts of Lindsay, St. Catherine and Cox Street in St. Mary. Reports from the Rockabissa police are that about 7:50 p.m., the driver of a Nissan AD wagon motor car allegedly lost control of the vehicle, which collided into an Isuzu motor truck that was traveling in the opposite direction. The police were alerted, and 5 people were transported to the hospital where Tyrone Thompson was pronounced dead. 2 of the occupants of the motor car were admitted for treatment. 1 was treated and released, while Roberts succumbed to his injuries about 6 a.m. on Tuesday, October 8. MUNRO college student dies in sleep, school community in mourning. The school community at MUNRO College in St. Elizabeth is in mourning following the death of third form student 14-year-old Diego de Souza, who passed away in his sleep in the early hours of yesterday morning. In a statement yesterday afternoon, a spokesperson indicated that preliminary investigations revealed that he died of natural causes. No further information was provided. De Souza was described as an affable, well-respected, and prodigious footballer. The spokesperson stated that the school family, with the assistance of trained personnel from the Ministry of Education and the surrounding schools, is providing support to affected persons. The MUNRO College family has extended its deepest sympathies to Diego's family and friends. Justice Minister Chuck expresses disappointment at Royal Reed raid. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck has expressed disappointment at the way in which his former cabinet colleague Royal Reed and the president of the Caribbean Maritime University CMU, Professor Fritz Pinnock, were arrested by detectives in separate but related pre-dawn operations on Wednesday. Several of Reed's family members and a Jamaica Labour Party functionary in the Northwest St. Anne constituency, which Reed represented before he fell from grace in March of this year, were also detained in a major development in a corruption scandal that has rocked the Jamaica Labour Party JLP government. The scandal has been linked to the Education Ministry, which Reed was in charge of, and the CMU, which falls within the ministry's portfolio. In speaking to reporters following a child diversion sensitization program in St. Mary on Wednesday, Chuck commented on the development early in the day, primarily on how it unfolded.
I think it's unfortunate that it has become so salacious in that, you put so many persons at these people's gate. And it appears in some instances, from the little I've heard, is further search for more material. So it seems like the authorities are still not sure what they're looking for.
Of his regrets, he further said,
what is interesting is that the DPP seem to have had no additional material or evidence, and what seems so unfortunate that the arrest took place, which looks like Nicodemus, in the night. I don't get the impression that these persons are actually running away. They have made themselves available on all occasions. So in fact, if an arrest should have been made, they could easily have been asked to come in so that they could be charged. And in these persons' cases, if they're to be charged, the impression I suspect that they could easily have been granted their own bail.
He also questioned why the investigations were taking so long. He said,
don't have the material report that there's not enough material to charge. But if you go and you charge, be careful that you charge on very limited evidence, with the end result that the cases may not go very far, and that would undermine the sort of confidence that you would have in the institution if you proceed to charge on very limited evidence and the cases turn out to be weak or dismissed by the court. I don't know the evidence, but at the end of the day, we must be very professional in what we do.
He expressed the hope that the manner in which the law enforcement agencies carry out the operations can be accepted as being professional. $38 million for PETROJAM audit. The allocation of $38 million to commence a forensic audit of oil losses at PETROJAM is a demonstration that the government is serious about untangling the issues at the state-owned refinery, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark has asserted. The allocation was made to the Auditor General's Department and is one of several new items included in the revised budget for the current fiscal year, which was approved by the House of Representatives on Wednesday. The revised expenditures also include $458 million to carry out emergency repairs to roadways damaged by the recent flood rains, and $200 million to provide social support for elderly persons who are not eligible to access the program of advancement through health and education path, the state welfare scheme. According to Clark, the independent forensic audit of PETROJAM, which was ordered by Prime Minister Andrew Holness last December following a damning report by the Auditor General's Department, will be a multi-year undertaking. He said the $38 million will ensure the process gets underway speedily. We believe that some of the problems are of current era, some are long-standing in nature, and the government is using resources to ensure that we can get to the bottom of these problems, he said. The Pamela Munro Ellis-led AGD, in an audit report to Parliament last December, revealed that over the past 5 years, PETROJAM declared that it used 1.5 million barrels of oil valued at $12.8 billion during normal refinery production. However, the audit found that the refinery could not account for almost half, or 600,684 barrels, valued at $5.2 billion. To underscore the magnitude of the problem, the Auditor General said that for the year 2013 to 14, PETROJAM could not account for 115,793 barrels of oil. In 2017 to 18, another 184,951 barrels were unaccounted for. Clark disclosed that the government plans to work with non-governmental organizations, NGOs, to administer its $200 million program to benefit elderly persons who are poor. We're going to work with NGOs who are specialists in that particular area to help with the intervention to address some of the needs of the elderly, the finance minister told the House. PATH was designed for the poor with children. So if you're elderly and you're poor and you don't have any school-age children, then the PATH program doesn't really work for you, he reasoned. The revised 2019-20 budget is $50 billion more than the $803 billion that was approved by lawmakers in March. Just over $45 billion is for recurrent or housekeeping expenses. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.